Get ready. Start. Mr. Deputy Chairman, I am glad that you have given me a little opportunity to reply to some of the points that have been raised in regard to the improvement trust by the speakers who have spoken this morning and this afternoon. In the first place, I would like to record my gratitude to them for the very responsible way in which they have spoken and the reasonable demands they have made and the assurances that they have asked for. Now, I would like to assure the members of this House that the Improvement Trust is no longer a profit making body. It is true that when it was set up before the last World War, it was set up on the premise that the Improvement Trust should acquire land, then put it out to auction, and after having got the largest amount of money for it, with that money it had to clear the slums. I am absolutely in agreement with the opinion of this House that it was not a right setup, but I may say that ever since we got our independence, all this has stopped. 2,000 acres of land that belonged to the Improvement Trust were made over straight away to the refugees without any money at all, and because I was dissatisfied with the working of the Improvement Trust, I appointed the Improvement Trust Inquiry Committee known as the Birla Committee, which put up a report, and one of the members has asked me as to what action we have taken on this particular report. Now, all the recommendations that could be taken action on at once by the executive authority were taken action on. But the main recommendation was for the appointment of one building authority for Delhi, which would eradicate the confusion that has existed over the last several years in the matter of so many authorities building, so many authorities planning without any really good plan as a result. The overall result has not been good, and it accounts for the spoiling nature of the buildings that have come up, of the colonies that have come up without any attention to drainage or sewerage, simply because the government realized the difficulties of the refugees, the difficulties that they were facing in the matter of accommodation, and many other things. Very little interference really has been indulged in on the part of the government. The Delhi Development Authority, for the setting up of which a bill has been passed by both houses, and which authority is the first step towards the acceptance of the main recommendation of the Birla Committee report, that is, to have only one authority in charge of buildings in Delhi. On this committee, this house is represented, the Lok Sabha is represented, and as I have said, the Delhi state government is also represented by elected members, so that nothing new is being done without reference to this committee, and this applies just as well to the Improvement Trust. As my honorable colleague said while moving this bill for consideration, the powers that are asked for the Delhi Improvement Trust are very small. They have got those powers as far as land is concerned. They only want these powers as far as buildings are concerned, because whatever we may say, the fact remains that in spite of warnings, unauthorized constructions are going up all the time, even after the Delhi Development Authority came into being in November last. I have given strict orders that no one is to be evicted and nobody is evicted by the improvement trust and nobody has been evicted without being provided with alternative accommodation. I would like some of the members, if they would, to come round with me and see what has been done. Only day before yesterday morning, I spent the entire morning from 9:30 to 1:30 visiting the slum areas and visiting the places to which they have been moved. If you come and see the people living in good quarters much happier than they were before, you will know that they would not like to go back to where they were. I entirely agree that this is a human problem and it has to be tackled in a human way, and that we must not just turn out a person and let him wander about in the streets. We have got to see to it that he is accommodated, whether temporarily or alternatively, until he comes back to the place from where he was asked to go after the place has been rebuilt, or until he is given accommodation elsewhere where it is possible for him to earn his livelihood. Now, many refugee colonies have come up without any reference to what the needs of the people who dwell in those colonies are. If there is a colony where there are no cobblers, where there are no tailors, carpenters, and scavengers, then those belonging to those trades can actually be moved there.